Aloha friends and good morning. Welcome back. Today, the video I want to give to you today is all about like what my why is. And I thought I'd bring you out to our backyard table where we play games and talk to you a little bit about what my why is. Because even in, we wrote a book, a carnivore book, and it was, in the intro we talked about what's your why. Because what your why is going to drive the protocol I would give a person. And I have a lot of whys. I'm grateful to have a lot of whys. A lot of whys, like the first one is just myself. I deserve better than what I was giving it. But my other whys are my kids. And I'm going to show you some really amazing adventures. I have teenagers right now, and I don't think they realize what kind of a mother I am, because I'm not your typical mother. I am like Adventure City mom. And you're going to see some really cool adventures that I've taken the kids on. I'm also doing it for my husband, who has always wanted me to do this. Someone commented on my last video. They said, "You never finished the story about your favorite anniversary that was 4 years ago." And I was like, oh my gosh, how did I forget that? 4 years ago, it was about the time Craig was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. If anybody listening has that, my heart so goes out to you, like so much. And he was concerned he was going to be in a wheelchair within the year, which is often the case. Ankylosing spondylitis, if you want to know more, I can talk about it more, just comment below, but I don't know if you want to know about it. It's terrible. So he just said, I want to go on an African safari before I'm in a wheelchair. And I was like, okay, let's go. He's like, this isn't just any safari. I want to go on this one. And I'm like, okay. It's Roar Africa. And it's a woman-run company. She's from, I believe, Zimbabwe. And it was the most amazing trip of my life. The cultures that I met, we saw so many things, but here's the thing about travel. Like, I do not have an expensive purse. I know some of you drop thousands on a purse. Mine is literally under $100. I cut my own hair. I don't do my nails. I don't wear makeup. So in a lot of ways, I save money in order to do some extravagant travel. And I don't mind camping in a dirty tent. I love camping. I think that's a great way to travel. My husband, however, likes VIP style. So we go on this safari, totally VIP style. Amazing. It was just a fantastic trip. I'll have some clips here for you of, we saw elephants, giraffes, lions. We saw so many things. It was just really awesome. Hippos, hippopotamus, wild dogs. I asked all the people, the guides that we met, like, what's your favorite animal? And they all said wild dogs. It's because they're so rare to see, and the way they work together. So we saw a wild dog kill an impala, and the first thing it took out was its organs. That's what the first thing it ate. But then it left, and it brought back hundreds of wild dogs. It was really, really a special trip, and it was great for Craig because he couldn't walk. So to be able to just sit in a car, or what do they call it? Yeah, a car. As long as you're in the car, you're safe. Like, animals aren't going to get you when you're in the car, but you jump out of that car, you are in a danger zone. The animals are just going crazy out here. That's why I wanted to bring you out here. Nature. I also, my why is for all the people out there that are struggling too. You can see it in the comments saying, I'm in the same boat as you trying to put on weight, and it's just it's a mental issue. It's a mind game. So those are some of my whys, those women. And it brings me back to my favorite movie. My favorite movie is Eat, Pray, Love. Specifically when she's in Italy. And she's in Napoli. This scene where she's in the birthplace of pizza, enjoying a slice of pizza margherita with her friend that she just met in Italy. And she's like, I'm in love with pizza. And she's like, you look like you're breaking up with the pizza. And her friend said, I can't. She's like, what do you mean you can't? You are in Napoli eating pizza margherita. It's your moral imperative to eat the pizza. And her friend's like, I have this muffin top, which I have right now. I have a huge muffin top. And Julia Roberts says, yeah, I have one too. And she's like, I am so sick of loathing all the food I'm eating. You know what I'm going to do? We'll insert the clip here. And she said, I'm going to finish this pizza, and tomorrow I'm going to go buy some bigger jeans. And I just love that scene so much. So these are for all the people that have the muffin tops. Just buy some bigger jeans. Let's go.
Tired of saying no and then waking up in the morning and recalling every single thing I ate the day before.
Another thing that came to mind I wanted to tell you about is when we first adopted the boys, if you know anything about Ethiopia, they don't have a lot of food there. And I believe, especially my son Kai, was literally starving. He was left by a statue when he was just a day old. And when we brought him into our home, for both of them, meal times were very emotional. Micah would get very excited and sing and do, he'd sing. And Kai would scream bloody murder.
You like to eat?
He would scream for more food, even though I knew that little belly of his was absolutely full. He would scream for more food. And it made meal times very stressful. And that was a moment that I stopped having dinner with my family because I just needed to focus on this little human and teach him that food will always be there. We will never run out of food. It was as if he thought, like, tomorrow what he might not eat. He would eat so much he would be sick. And they too are experiencing the belly that I have now, the malnutrition belly, which I don't even care. I love it. It's good. But I also am telling you this to just have a heavy heart for the struggles I have had in my life. I don't regret adopting those kids one moment, but it was a lot. They'd never been in a bathtub, so they screamed. They'd never been in a car, so they screamed. In Ethiopia, when we went to the car to the airport, we got to hold them on our laps. They didn't have car seats there. So then we'd land in the United States, get in our car. They have to go in the back in a car seat, and they're screaming bloody murder the whole way home. And then we go and pick up our dog. And dogs in Ethiopia are more for protection, and so they're not very friendly. And they screamed at her, and she was just this little golden retriever, cute little thing. It was she was a mutt, but she was just a small golden retriever, very cute. We get home, they're screaming for more food. Bathtub is scary. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, where's the receipt? They don't like me. But oh my gosh, it was the best decision we ever made in our life. So anyway, I'm just kind of digressing because there's still some of those mean comments out there. Like, you know, basically someone said I was a narcissist in a video. I was like, what? I am the most empathetic person out there. I lay awake thinking about humans that I I've met and the struggles that they're dealing with. Like, I don't think a narcissist would adopt children either. So that's about you. That's not about me. But anyway, I appreciate all of your kind comments. Keep them coming. Good morning, my beautiful friends. It's another day. It's another win. I'm so glad that you guys are giving me such encouragement. It's just wonderful to read your comments. I just absolutely love them. Messy hair and all, right? Messy hair, don't care. I really don't care. A lot of you have asked me what my goals are for this weight gain journey. And you might not think it's sufficient enough. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. You're not me. My goal is what matters. And my goal is to treat my body in a way it deserves to be treated. And feed it well. And treat it well. And rest when I need to rest. Lift when I want to lift and can lift. But never, the ultimate goal is to never make my body so hungry it's eating itself. And never make my body so hungry I wake up in the middle of the night. Even though I was so hungry in the past, like, I so enjoy food so much more. Maybe it's because I didn't really allow myself to enjoy it in the past. I don't know. My goal is to get back 10 plus years ago. We live on the beach in Hawaii. Can't wait to show you that on my walks. And what's cool about Maui in particular, Maui is the best island. That's the one we're on. It's very shallow in front of where we live in Kihei. And that's where all the whales come to have their babies. They come to Hawaii to mate and have their babies. They don't eat the whole time, and then they swim back up to Alaska to feed. And when they're having their babies, they're jumping. Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought for a second I had a dimple again. I used to have dimples. Maybe they'll come back. But the whales are jumping, and so we saw this splash, right? And we're on our deck, and I was like, let's get on a paddleboard. So it's not just me on a paddleboard, and just yourself on a paddleboard in the ocean waves is difficult. I mean, you need some arm strength, you need core, you need balance. It wasn't just me. I had 2 kids, 2 boys, one in the front, one behind me, and we would go explore the ocean together. And we saw some splashes, and all of a sudden, must have been 200 dolphins started jumping around us, over us, under us. It was the coolest, I have goosebumps telling you this, the coolest moment in my life. Actually, I've had a couple of these types of things. There was another time, Kai tends to get a little nervous and scared, so for a long time it was just Micah and I. And Micah and I are out in the ocean, maybe a mile out, and all of a sudden, a little baby whale comes to like touch our paddleboard. And everybody's like, aren't you scared if they push you off? I'm like, no, because then I can legally swim with them, you know? And the babies are curious, and especially if it's not a new mother, they let the baby kind of check you out. And if you sit there in the ocean long enough, they'll come to you. You cannot legally chase them. Do not do that. Do not come to Hawaii and chase them. But if you just sit out there, a curious baby usually comes to you, checks you out. And I told Micah, I said, Micah, wherever this baby is, the mom's in between us. And he goes, I want to go home. And check out this video. Check out just what happens. The most amazing experience of my life. And this has happened multiple times. The first time I was out there, this must have been 15 years ago, the kids were on their nap. Got to put stuff in the mail again. And I'm out there all by myself. It's kind of like a rainy day. And all of a sudden there's a rowboat. A rowboat. I've now made friends with these people, Robert and Ellen. They go out there every single day in the rowboat, and she's a photographer. And she got pictures of me and she sent them. And then the next year, I'm in the middle of the nowhere. They got pictures of me with another whale. And then the third year, Micah was with me, and I said, "Oh, Micah, Robert and Ellen are here. Get ready for a whale." And sure enough, whale came. They got the pictures. Like, they are just the whale whisperers, or maybe I'm the whale whisperer. I've been called that in Hawaii, which is really cool. But I want to get back to that, where I can easily paddleboard with all three of us. I don't know if I can get those boys on there. They're, big. Micah's giant. He's bigger than I am. I met his birth mom in Ethiopia, and I'm 5'2" on a good day, and she came this high on me, top of her head, very short. So I didn't know if he'd be tall, but man, that kid is such a healthy eater. Like, he prioritizes protein. He doesn't even look for weights, and he's ripped. Check out this picture. Yeah, I know, totally ripped. So, speaking of Hawaii, so if you're lucky enough to get a one-way ticket, you're homeless, but you can get a one-way ticket to Hawaii, to Maui, any island, you are lucky, because we live on the desert part of the island. The coolest, like Maui has 5 different microclimates, and we're on the desert side. So just living on the beach, some of them have tents, some of them just stay on the beach. It's not a bad life. And I have befriended some of these homeless people. I'll make food for them. There's JC, who lives under the tree in front of us. They're nice people. They've had struggles. And then there's this one older gentleman who he pines after me. And he just oogles and says the craziest things and stuff. And I just kind of laugh it off. And he said, "If you just had 10 pounds on you, you would just be the most beautiful woman in the world." Yeah. It's things like that you remember. I'll get to that. Something I wanted to talk to you guys about is fat fasting. So this isn't a weight gain thing. This is the weight loss issue. People talking about fat fasting and how it's a great tool to lose weight. Okay, sure, the scale is going to go down. But I've talked about this before. Your body is made up of proteins. Your heart is made up of proteins. Your liver, made up of proteins. And that is turning over a lot. Like every 3 days, it's always turning over. Your skin is always turning over. And if you don't eat enough protein, or any protein, in a fat fast, guess what? It's going to it's going to break down the muscles on your body to create amino acids so it can repair the liver and the heart. You can't stop that from happening. You can't. And so you're going to use your body's muscles to repair that tissue. And what happens? The scale shows that it's going down. And you think it's a win, but guess what? It's not. You become more insulin resistant because you have less places for glucose to go. You want those precious muscles. Do not give them up with a fat fast. It's the worst idea in the world. I do not understand that. You flip it, focus on protein, lower the fat. If you have a lot of body fat on your body, you could use that fat for fuel. And then you will maintain your muscles. You will keep rebuilding your heart. You will keep rebuilding your liver that's turning over because you are eating enough amino acids to repair them. The weight loss may be slower, but it's because your body composition is getting better. I'd rather have that. And protein is so satiating. Another very interesting fact, I speak around the world, and my presentation, even years ago, before GLP-1s were anything people talked about, I'm so close to myself, jeepers, criminy Maria. GLP-1s, super popular, but I talked about natural GLP-1s on one of my slides. And I talked about how until you eat enough protein for the day, your body will always be hungry. It's looking for food because protein has all the nutrients. And that's another thing too about fat fasting. If you look at the nutrient breakdown of bulletproof coffee versus steak and eggs, there's no question. Like, you want nutrients, right? There's not in bulletproof coffee. There's actually more nutrients in sugar than there is in bulletproof coffee. And with the coffee, you get the mold, all the issues with that. Mold and brown teeth and whatever. So I would say let's focus on chewing our food and protein. But I don't even know where I was going with that. Yeah, people like just focus on the scale, and I did too. But you don't want to lose that precious muscle. You don't. And you can't stop your heart and liver from turning over. So just remember that. I don't know about you, but I think people like fat fasting because they get a dopamine hit. You know, like, it's proven that dairy, butter, you release a dopamine hit. And you might be replacing a sugar addiction for a butter addiction. It's true, I've seen it. But yeah, if you don't get enough protein, your body's always going to be hungry until you hit your protein need for the day because of all the turnover that's going on. And that's why it's a natural GLP-1. GLP-1s are actually made up of amino acids. So, I don't know, just maybe focus on more protein. I'm super satiated, and that's one thing I'm dealing with is I don't really enjoy eating if I'm not hungry, you know. When I was younger, I don't even know what hunger was because we just ate, right? Not even hungry, we just ate. I think my mom thought we were going to pass away overnight if we didn't have a bed night snack. So we would always have a bed night snack, and it wasn't healthy. It was like toast with peanut butter and honey or something like that, ice cream. So now, like that, I'm, you know, up. We don't need to talk about pounds, but it keeps going up. Sometimes it's a little bit, sometimes it's a lot. My satiation is there, right? Like, I'm so much more satisfied. So, you know, that's how that goes. But it could be because my breakfast, it's an 8-ounce filet. I mean, you guys know it's like on repeat. I'm like a dog. I love it so much. 8-ounce filet, about 9 large scallops, sometimes a bowl of cottage cheese. We're hitting 80 plus grams of protein right there. So no wonder why I'm satisfied. But yeah, just a couple notes to talk about. Anyway, where are you guys located? I'm in Wisconsin now. I can't wait to take you to Hawaii. Hi, Miss Bella. Hi, Miss Bella. Hey friends, it's been a day, and I am wanting to show you how to make this brown butter sweet little dip. It tastes good on everything. I've made frosting out of it, you name it. It's really, really good. Actually, on the reverse TV show I was on in Costa Rica, I made the flourless chocolate torte with this kind of frosting, but we're gonna make it into a dip, and that's what I add to my protein shake. Just to add a little bit of flavor and goodness. Now, yes, I am obsessed with brown butter. But before we get into the recipe, I just like, yeah, I'm doing a vlog, I guess it's called. I don't know, what is it called? A video blog, just of my journey and weight gain. It's helping me stay on track. Your comments are keeping me encouraged. So thank you for keeping up on comments. I know it's a lot to ask, but I do look at them when the scale is higher than I've ever seen in a long time. So thank you for that. But while I do a little, walk and talk, I'll also show you how to make a cool recipe, because that's what I'm eating. I think you want to see it, right? So we are browning butter at this moment. And I'm going to grab a whisk out of here. And brown butter is a thing of beauty. It tastes great on fish. It tastes great on steak. It tastes great on burgers. Like, it's just great. Even if I would make like a soup, even like a carnivore oxtail soup, I would start with brown butter because it's that great. And now we're going to use just a touch of cream cheese. I have 2 cups of butter in there. Now, how much cream cheese you add is up to you. With the frosting, I add quite a bit. I'll probably do like 4 sticks of butter, 2 packages of cream cheese. But for my dip, I'm just going to add about a half a package of cream cheese, and then we'll add this So Delicious coconut milk. Whoa, butter is splattering, to thin it out. You could add heavy cream, but I've always done the lighter thing, so I always lighten it up. And I'm getting plenty of calories, don't worry, if I use coconut milk over cream. Because, again, I want to keep my body count pretty good. So brown butter, it's awesome. What's cool about it, what's cool about it is it's going to be really loud like this, because it usually doesn't do that. Must be a little bit of water in there. Salted butter works better than unsalted. And it's going to be really loud like it is now. And then I can be running around the kitchen doing other stuff, and I know exactly when it starts to brown and I need to stir. It gets quiet and it starts to froth up. So we'll try to listen for that. I have quite a bit of butter in there, so it'll take a little bit longer. I just had my steak and scallops. You guys are going to get really bored of my food because I eat the same thing. My goodness. Why is it doing that? I'm going to turn it down. Jeez, Craig's me mad. I am a messy cook. It's like splattering butter everywhere. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe we'll keep stirring it. So we would clean the house, and then the same day I would decide, hey, it's a great day to teach my toddlers how to make lasagna, my protein noodle lasagna, right? And Craig's like, we just cleaned the kitchen. Like, I'm talking like head to toe type cleaning. And I'm like, I know, but it's memories forever. And so we have a lot of pictures of the boys cooking. And Kai wanted to try everything. So we would have unsweetened cocoa powder for like a cake, and he'd be eating unsweetened cocoa powder with a face of disgust. Super funny. And if you've never caught, like my son Kai, he's our taste tester. He usually likes things, except for, we'll insert the video here. I was doing, it was my sweet potato casserole, and he didn't know what to expect. He takes a big bite, and you'll see his reaction. It's classic. I love it. I still laugh at that. Yeah, he just loves different food, but not necessarily vegetables, and I'm okay with that. He loves, excuse me. He does my ratings on YouTube, and he saves the 10 for a Wagyu steak. But funny thing is, we went to a restaurant in Austin, Texas, and they had a Wagyu sampler. They had a Wagyu steak, and then they had a different, like, I don't know, Idaho steak, and then a different steak that wasn't Wagyu. And I told the waitress, I said, don't tell him which one's which. It was a little sampler of each steak. And he guessed, like, the Idaho steak was, or Nebraska, it was Nebraska, that was the Wagyu. And she's like, everybody thinks that. See how it got quiet and it's frothing up? This is when it's browning. And you want to stay near it, otherwise it's going to turn black. And that's not fun. I also am going to use a stick blender to puree all of it. And I usually push the brown butter pretty hard. Like I go dark, but you don't have to. You can stop whenever you want. Yeah, you can see that the butter is turning brown. Craig is so smart. He put outlets right by my stovetop. He thinks of everything. See how it's brown? That's delicious. I'm going to turn this off because it's going to continue to brown. All right, now at this point, we'll add the cream cheese. Like that. Maybe a little bit more. Just however much you want. It's okay. It's a learning experience. I'm going to add a little stevia glycerite, which is a non-bitter stevia. You don't need much because it tastes good just by the way it is. And then I'm going to add this. Now, I like it pretty thin. You can add as much as you want. And plus, I don't want it to overflow. Now, at this point, I'm going to puree it. And the reason you need the cream cheese is it helps it emulsify. Combine. Now, at this point, you can taste it and adjust sweetness to your liking, but that's it. I'm going to put it in jars, and then when I have my protein shake, I put some of that in there. It's way better than just adding heavy cream. It's so much more delicious. And yeah, that is the brown butter dip that I use. And one more little tip. First off, I like to divide it in a couple jars because I leave the top off. And then that first night you have a nice little like crusty layer of like, I don't know, goodness on the top that I like. And also, do not put hot food in plastic. Use glass containers, people. It's just one simple thing you can do for your health. Get rid of the plastic and use glass, especially when you're working with hot products. Okay, so a lot of you asked many questions about the shake, so I'm going to post a recipe because I have been making this for over a year, probably 2 years. I should have been sharing it, right? And I kind of perfected it the way I like it. I used to just add cream cheese, and now I add this brown butter dip that I just showed you how to make. So, to make the shake, first, before you put any protein powder in these jars, you're going to want to add either water or I'm using this So Delicious coconut milk. It doesn't have any junk ingredients. I like it. So I'm just going to put about that much in there. And now I'm going to add some stevia glycerite, which is a non-bitter stevia, however much you want. Maybe like half a teaspoon. And now we're going over to the pantry. I love my pantry. It's a little dark in here. But what we do here, set that there, and we open up the Equip Prime protein drawer. It's my favorite drawer I own. And oh, that's almost empty. We have to open a new one. So we're going to use a scoop of their chocolate. And Equip is so generous. If you use code Maria, you save on every order. We're going to use a scoop of that and a scoop of the salted caramel. Now this is going to be like a malt flavored shake. Okay, got to get that open. Try to do it with one hand. Not easy. So just like a nice scoop. And I'm not going to enjoy this today. It's going to go in the fridge for another day, like tomorrow. I always batch cook stuff because it makes life so much easier. And we're going to add one more thing to make it a malt flavor. I get a big thing of this. It's not cheap, but it lasts me a long time. And I usually add a teaspoon. I can't measure and make at the same time. And this is malt. Do not get their malted milk. That has propylene glycol. This one does not. And now we're going to carry this back over here to the kitchen. And you could use a blender. Makes it way easier, right? but it seems to get really airy if you use a blender. So I use a stick blender, which I even pack in my suitcase. Yes, I have a giant suitcase. And then I'm going to add the rest of it. You can fill it as much as you want, but I like it. This is going to get plenty thick if you leave it in the fridge overnight. Gotta open that one. There we go. And like I mentioned, when I travel, I just add water, which is really good too. Now with the brown butter dip, you can just like take a bite as you drink it, or I usually add a couple tablespoons, whatever you want, to each jar. I keep this in the fridge all the time. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more to this. I'll put some covers on that. And that's how you make a protein shake made from beef. Yes, Equip is beef protein powder. So you could totally skip this part and have it be 100% dairy-free. Bon appetito. I'll have the link below for you to check out Equip, all their flavors. Okay, friends, I wanted to show you some of our freezers. We have 3 chest freezers. Part of it is because I do bow hunt and fish, so I can fill those up. I swear Craig is ready for the apocalypse, but dude, this is the best bacon ever. I'm telling you, it's delicious, and I love it. So we have a lot of that. We have some wild run salmon, grass-fed bison. We have Butcher Box, sweet Italian sausage without sugar. We have their hot dogs. We have their smoked ham, doesn't have sugar. We have chicken wings, chicken tenderloins, that's what that is. I was going to smoke those. We have their filet under here. This is a carnivore pizza that I grew up in where Tombstone Pizza was invented, and that was the first frozen pizza. I'll tell you that story in a second, but I want to go through this. This is moose meat. My dad shot a moose, so there's some moose meat. I'll show you another freezer. And here, just turn the light on here. We got some books, extra books. And then here, smash burgers galore. This is Butcher Box. Don't forget to get the deal. They have like free ground beef for life, and we always use the ground beef. I like the sirloin. It's leaner, but you know, I'm trying to build muscle, not all fat. We have these pre-made beef patties and scallops. I'm running low, one big. It should be coming today. We get it 2 times a month. We have their Butcher Box bacon here. Some beef tips. Yeah. So we have one more freezer I'll show you. Now we're entering the pantry, my beloved pantry. I work with a lot of different companies for their food, Kettle and Fire. Only things that I do recommend, if you like chocolate, the Good Chocolate made a chocolate bar just for our family. These egg white noodles are delicious, but I want to show you, like I told you, the freezer, the 3rd freezer. Let's check this out. So what do we have in here? Kai's holding the flashlight. We got halibut, which I love, don't I, Kai? We got smoked ribs. We have protein ice cream. We have butter. We have bacon. We have some duck. And if you ever wonder where to get things like my protein ice cream recipe, I have a blog, Maria Mind Body Health. Thousands of free recipes, don't I, Kai? Yep. So go there, check it out. And they also have like discount codes for all of these fun products. Okay, friends, we're just gonna step outside because everybody's like, you're always talking to us when you're walking. And so I'm gonna try to not do that. This is my little screen porch here. Kai and I like to watch Master Chef. Funny story, we were watching kids baking competition with Valerie Bertinelli. And at that same time that we were watching her, she posted on Instagram making my biscuits and gravy. She wrote like breakfast Sammy, but these ferns are also from Frenchtown Greenhouse, the Mennonite community. They're absolutely like they're huge, like super giant. I love them. But let's just jump down here and talk. I just wanted to say a few things. Like, I don't think anybody realizes how much of a hole of isolation I felt. I felt just so lonely, so alone. I would walk and just be by myself, and I no longer feel that way. I feel like you guys are with me when I'm walking and talking because your comments are just like our conversation that we're having. And I really, really appreciate that. Your comments are keeping me going. But speaking of that, I may not be gaining as fast as you want. Some days it's a quarter of a pound, but it's still progress. I do also want you to know, like I mentioned this many times, I travel a lot for work. So some of these videos are recorded weeks before you're seeing them. So you're not seeing my actual progress. The reason is I feel like in the beginning, I need more support, and doing these videos is keeping me on track. And once the ball starts rolling, it will be easier. But I will try to put out a video every Sunday. It's just so you know, like, hey, Maria's video should come out today. And if it doesn't, you should message me because maybe it means something happened. I hope not. I don't think it will, because everything is better. You guys have no idea how many people, men and women, reach out to me saying, I need to gain weight too. Like I'm doing this with you. Or like I felt like I always had to be a certain size and it's not okay to gain weight. I'm telling you now, it is okay for you not to always be hungry. It is okay for you to feel full. It is okay for you not to lay in bed at night so hungry. I'd curl up in a ball, face down like this, because it was the only way I could try to fall asleep while my hunger was so intense. You have permission to eat. You have permission to gain weight. You have permission to feel great. You're not alone in this. You're not alone in this. I did a few podcasts, and one was with Robert Sykes, and he's a bodybuilder, and he won like the strongest man competition. He got down to 3.5% body fat. That's not him hearsay. That's measuring. And he's like, it's a total mind mess. It's like a mind craziness when you start to get softer, you see the scale go up. And so even, someone like him that seems so strong, I didn't even think he dealt with that type of stuff. But you can't live at 3.5% body fat. I can't live at that body fat percentage I was. It was way too low. Women shouldn't be like that. And I get that. But instead of being so critical because I'm not losing or not gaining weight as fast as you were hoping, instead of being critical in the comments, be kind, because those critical comments stick out like no other. There could be 1,000 nice comments and 2 critical ones, and it will eat me inside. It will just literally be the dark side. It overcomes all the brightness that's coming through. So please, your criticisms, just leave an encouragement. Just help me to keep going. And those of you who are in the same situation as me, everything is better. My hair is better. You guys know I don't look like doing my hair. Look at it from the first video. Like, my hair is shinier. It's growing thicker. My curls are softer. Everything is better. My skin's better. It's softer. Like, everything is better. My energy's better. My moods are better. I don't have to sleep so much, so I accomplish way more. Everything's better. There's no downsides. So you have permission to feel great, too. But yeah, on that note, I'm going to end this and just say, comment below on what recipe you'd like us to. I have thousands, millions of recipes, literally. Any recipe in any book, I will cook it, and then you'll get the recipe in the show notes. But comment what you want me to see me make, because I make everything pretty fast. I can, just about all my recipes I can make with like 10, 15 minutes tops. Most of them are shorter than that, because I'm a busy working mom, homeschool kids. I can do it. I want you to be able to do it. And I think sometimes when you see somebody make a recipe, I'm like that too. If I see a really long recipe, maybe it's like my breakfast chili. That's so easy to make, but there's a lot of ingredients and it seems overwhelming. But once you see me make it, you'll be like, hey, I can do this. It's super easy, right? So comment on what recipe you want me to make. My family loves just about everything. So especially Kai and Craig, they love everything. Mike and I are a little bit more picky, but we'll eat it. So I really appreciate all of you more than you realize. And I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Sunday. When I was 16 years old, I was diagnosed with PCOS, acid reflux, depression, and IBS. Instead of taking those prescription drugs, I decided to change my life with food. Yes, food healed me, and it's healed so many of my clients over the past 20 years of working with people. If you are interested in transforming your life, check out KetoMaria.com. I'd be honored to help you.